What's up, guys? Welcome back to VA Development, and today we are gonna learn about loops. So let's just jump in. Alright, so in loops, there are four looping structures in PHP. They are used to execute a specific type of code block multiple times, just as with the conditional if statement that we went through in our recent video tutorial. The curly brackets for the loops can be left out if there is only one statement in the code block. So, first looping structure in PHP is the while loop. The while loop runs through the code block only if the condition is true. It will continue looping for as long as the condition remains true. Note that the condition is only checked at the beginning of the loop or iteration. If I know how to spell beginning right. Beginning of the loop iteration. Alright, let me show you guys an example of a while loop. A while loop can begin like this. So assume that you guys have a variable x and we want to assign a value to it, which is 0. And to begin the while loop, write while the variable x is less than 10. Open the curly brackets and close the curly brackets. Display to the user, say echo your variable x and increment by 1. So this will print out 0 to 9. Let's Control S. Let's see in our browser. There you go. You see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 9. This is how you do a while loop. Let's say if you put x is greater than 10, it won't do nothing because x we have assigned a value of 0. And if you put 0 here, 0 is greater than 10, it will show nothing. So we say x is less than 10 and we want to increment by 1s. So it's going to print out from 0 to 9. That's the while loop. Alright, now for our second looping structure, which is the do while loop. The do while loop works in the same way as the while loop, except that it checks the condition after the code block. Also, this is that type of loop that type of loop that ends with a semicolon. For example, again, let's assume we got a variable of y equals 0, and you just start the do while loop as in do, and open and close the curly brackets, and print out echo y plus plus. And then when you have opened the do block, when you have closed the do block, go after the block, write while. and write it down. Variable y is less than 10. We'll print out 9 again. See? I print out 0 to 9. Let's say if you want to put 11, it's going to print to 0 to 10. 10. That's how you do a do-while loop. Okay. Alright, let's comment this out. Next, for our third loop, which will be the for loop. For loop. The for loop is used to go through a code block by a specific number of times. The for loop uses 3 params, which is parameters. The first params is a counter, and that is always executed once before the loop. Next, for our second params, holds the condition for the loop that is checked before each loop. And finally, our third parameters contain that the increment of the counter is executed at the end of the loop. You can say iteration. Alright, so an example of a for loop, you can say, let's see, you start with a for, and you open up your parentheses, and you just put the variable and the value. So you do variable q is assigned a value of 0, and the variable q is less than 10, q plus plus, which increments by 1. And you open up your new brackets and close your brackets, your curly brackets, and you print echo q. And let's see. Oh, I forgot the $sign. My bad, guys. There you go. That's how you print out from 0 to 9 in a for loop.